Hi, this is Josh. I wanted to make a video about growing papaya in Central Florida because I feel it's a really useful and highly productive plant that's kind of underutilized, especially in this area. Most people don't know that papaya has a traditional use of being used green, the immature fruits. Like this. The usual thing people know of is that you eat the mature fruits. But here in Central Florida, we get consistent frosts. Temperatures 25 degrees are pretty frequent. So the fruits don't usually ripen. So it's caused us to kind of start being creative in our use. And we've found out that it's a great vegetable on its own when it's green, and is really versatile. But we can't really begin to create local sustained food production if there isn't the cultural acceptance and the appropriate technologies that pair the food from going to the field to the plate. So today I want to kind of explore some of the appropriate technologies and stuff that make papaya really useful for here. Most people also don't know how fast papaya grows. This plant was planted in March and it's December, so in less than one growing season the plant's grown. It's probably about 10, 11 feet. It was transplanted as a little seedling. Most people also don't know that in the wintertime, even when it gets 20, 25 degrees, you can cut the plant down and protect the base and it will resprout, and then you thin one sprout and it will come back. So you could have a papaya live for many years, and each year you get these fruits. So it essentially becomes like a zucchini tree or a squash tree. Excellent vegetable. And I planted this with sweet potato as a ground cover underneath, and a nice thick layer of mulch and some manure. And the bed hasn't been touched since then in March. And the plant's done very well with no irrigation and really no care. And then we got the yield of sweet potato and sweet potato leaves in the understory, and also papaya in the overstory. So this is the size roughly that you would want to harvest. You want the papaya to be full size almost, but not starting to ripen yet, or it'll be kind of sweet. This one here will probably let ripen. It's starting to show this yellow color. We'll let that go a few more weeks and we'll take it in and eat it as fruit. About this size or this size, this is a good one. This is what we'll eat as a vegetable. So I'll pick this off, and you want to watch out for this white sap. It can kind of irritate your bottom of your arm if you get it on you. And we're going to go to the kitchen and process this. Okay, so the first step to processing a papaya is to peel all this green skin off. And I like to use a potato peeler. It's really easy. And I also like to put the compost bucket right in front of me so that all the peels go into the compost and then they go back out to the garden. So just strokes like this will kind of take the skin off. Takes a while to kind of get really good at it, but you'll just go around like this, try to get as much off as you can, and you still want to watch out for this white sap. And then once I have the whole top peeled, I'll flip it over and peel down this side, and we'll go from there. Once your papaya is peeled, the next step is to remove this little top piece. You can't eat that. And then we're going to cut it open and scrape all the immature seeds out. This is a good, the color is a good indication that we got this at the right stage to eat it as a vegetable. If it were starting to have pink and yellow through it, we'd know it was starting to ripen. So I'm going to take this knife and just kind of come along and peel off the top. Okay, now we're going to cut the papaya in half. open it up over compost or outside, so if the seeds fall out, they fall out in there. And then we're going to take a spoon and just scrape the seeds out of the core and get this all cleaned out. You can see this one's started to ripen a little bit actually with that pink, but it'll still be good to eat as a vegetable. The last step of processing papaya is to get it cut up or shredded into the size that you want to use it with. And we've made a really exciting discovery lately. We found this little gadget in the cupboard, and it ends up being a perfect papaya shredder. And if you cut this up, it's a really big pain, and when you use the shredder, it's hand crank, and you can get really fine textures. So it just clamps onto the table with this little thing. I don't know what company makes these, there's no name on it, but it's our papaya shredder, and if you're serious about using papaya, having something like this is really helpful. So there's 2 blades. This one is a little more coarse, and the end product is more like what we put in stir fry or soup. And then there's this really fine blade which amazingly shreds up the papaya like angel hair spaghetti, and then when cooked it's a very convincing spaghetti squash substitute. So using these 2 blades we can have like a squash or kind of a cabbage type of vegetable, or a spaghetti squash, and we're going to cook some spaghetti squash. So to use this, you just hook this on. Once the blade is on, you take these, we cut these pieces lengthwise off the papaya so they fit, and you just put it in and you start turning this with the plate there, and all the pieces fall right out onto the plate. So you can see this texture is a little more coarse, but we're going to do the rest of it with the thinner texture. So I just pop this blade off, and it's really easy to wash, and I put on the other one. And this one is more like angel hair spaghetti. So put the piece in and turn, and then it starts coming out in these really fine slices, and then the next piece just pushes that one down. So it's very fast. You can do a whole papaya in just a minute or 2. Both these textures have their specific uses. Here's a glass of kimchi that someone made, and this came from the fine textured papaya, and there that is. That's really good. So papaya might be awesome for some value-added products like pickles or kimchi, sauerkraut substitute kind of thing. You could do that with either of these textures, and then this one is nice as a more coarse vegetable, and then this is our spaghetti squash substitute. So we're going to cook this up, and we'll see how it turns out. Here's our papaya finished being shredded. One papaya ends up being roughly a good serving for 2 people. So what we're going to do is just pan fry this with some olive oil. I'm sure it would cook up the same if you baked it, but we haven't tried it yet. And then we're cooking some sauce up right now. We haven't figured out how to get that from trees yet, but we're working on it. And yeah, so I'm just going to put this in, and we'll pan fry it till it's kind of soft and like spaghetti, and then we'll eat it.
Wicked senses, they can't feel the texture, and to where your blood and breath, your bones, your flesh, your life. Your blood and breath, your bones and flesh and life. Spirit and earth and water and fire is life. Spirit and earth and water and fire is life.